Good morning. It is Monday, November 3rd, 2025. I'm standing at the top of 72nd Avenue West, just up from Grand Avenue. Continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city, from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162, and we have now worked our way up to park number 33. At 31.35 acres, it is Fairmount Park. Fairmount Park. Even the sign is misspelled. Somebody needs to come out here and put a U in there because this is Fairmount Park. And the zoo is right over there. We did the zoo last week. The zoo was initially part of Fairmount Park and then was carved out to become a zoo. But this is a nice park. A lot of trails pass through here. Superior Hiking Trail. Many mountain bike trails, of course. The old DWP railroad grade comes through here. Snowmobile trails come through here. So it's a busy place. I always like this cedar stand here. This is similar to the route we took when we started our zoo video because the zoo is right there. Fairmount Park was established in 1901, and according to the Parks book by Nancy Nelson and Tony Durkins, people almost immediately started to mispronounce it as Fairmont. And that continues today, as we can see with the sign. The zoo was established in 1923. So the reason this park, one big reason, was established is because people living out here in the late 19th, early 20th century were annoyed that the city was spending all this money on Lincoln Park in the West End and not anything on any parks out here. And the city said, that's because you don't have any parks out here. Which was kind of the point. So, they went ahead and, I don't know the exact process, but they established Fairmount Park anyway. So here we're coming up on the DWP railroad grade, which was retired in the 80s when the interstate went through. That way goes out to 63rd Avenue West and Green Street. And it's like it's blacktopped from here to 63rd. It's just this little over mile orphan section of blacktop. And the reason it is because during Mayor Don Ness's tenure, well, even though the city is looking for ways to extend the cross-city trail from east to west, but they got down to Irving Park area and come up toward Grand Avenue, and they couldn't figure out a way to get the necessary easements and ownerships to continue it west along Grand, and they still haven't figured that out even to this day. But Mayor Ness decided that he would just blacktop this section and call it the next leg of the Cross City Trail, which is kind of problematic for a lot of reasons. From Grand up to here is quite a climb, and it's definitely out of the way. You're not going on a nice straight line anymore. You're riding along, and then suddenly you have to make a hard turn, go all the way up the hill, come down to here, and then I suppose they might go back down the hill. But the project went ahead. This got blacktopped, and now it's not the Cross City Trail, but it is a nice blacktop section makes for easy walking anyway. I remember there was a lot of people not too happy with that rationale for blacktopping that section. Everybody who has an interest in the Cross City Trail seems to want to just continue along west down Grand, which makes the most sense intuitively. And then if you continue on this way, you eventually get to Spirit Mountain. And then once you cross the slopes, you can pick up the grade on the other side and continue on ultimately all the way to the railroad tunnel at Ely's Peak. So you could walk this way for 5, 6, 7 miles. I don't know the exact number. We'll go down here. You can see this is marker for a snowmobile trail. Here's the old historical arch. We looked at that when we did the zoo last week. I'll just head up here. So the centerpiece of Fairmount Park is Kingsbury Creek, which comes tumbling down the hill from Proctor. Man, this trail's getting gullied out. Beautiful morning. Kingsbury Creek. Along with Chester Creek, I would say this has the most scenic bedrock outcroppings of any of the city parks. And back in the day, they apparently had the same opinion. A quote from the Duluth News Tribune, back when this park was just established, states, "A little stream tumbles through a rocky chasm included in the park. And when the rains come, the purling brooklet is suddenly transformed into a torrent, its water deep, treacherous, foaming, and to lovers of the harsh and wild in nature is then one of the most inspiring sights in the region." And back in 2012, we did have a torrent, and it ripped out a bridge up the way there, permanently took it out. So that was used as a crossing for Superior Hiking Trail, snowmobiles, and everybody else. And so now everybody is now rerouted down to this bridge. So if you're walking on those trails and you're wondering why they suddenly curve down to here and then back up, it's because that bridge is gone up there. I don't know. I have a problem with the city's designating of parks. Many problems, but so they only include 30 acres around the zoo in Fairmount Park, and yet there's hundreds. I'd say probably 300 or 400 acres on both sides, going that way, going all the way to Spirit Mountain, that way going all the way out to 63rd, of city-owned or tax forfeit green space that is just not included on the parks list. They include cul-de-sacs, they include any random square of green space they can find, they even include private property, and yet here's this area with hundreds of acres public green space not on the list. It's as if it doesn't exist in the parks system. So I definitely think that should be included. We'll just go up this mountain bike trail a little bit here. But I can't really explore this too far for the sake of the video because the actual boundaries of Fairmount Park don't go very far up the river, just a little way. But following that river, that creek, Kingsbury, is fun. If you're familiar with the Proctor exit off of the interstate, I-35, it's kind of a busy area. There's a lot of traffic, and also the trains cross there on a trestle. Well, Kingsbury Creek comes right through there, pretty amazingly. And if you follow this up on the other side of the creek, especially, you can get to that area, and that's pretty fun. Mountain bike trail engineering here. They're not light on the landscape. I mean, look, they had to start right there. Cut down that whole bank. Here's the trail. You know, what is that? 15, 20 foot slash through the earth. For some reason, the mountain bike trails have enjoyed the most positive reception of any big project that I've ever seen. Just mention the word mountain bike trail and city council and mayors and citizens mostly just get starry-eyed. But if you went and asked the city council, hey, would you mind if our group built a bunch of little roads, put roads into every park, every corner? They would be aghast. But that's basically what has happened. Little roads here. Look at that. This is a Superior Hiking Trail, right? So they built that mountain bike trail and they had to cut the bank down, so now they had to reroute the Superior Hiking Trail around what they cut there. Look at this. I think I'll probably just go up to that old ruined bridge, which is already past the boundaries of what they call Fairmount Park, but those are just lines on maps. In reality, this whole many hundred acres, I always consider just kind of one park. If it was one park, it would be Duluth's top 5 probably. Bigger, maybe even bigger than Hartley or something. Instead, it's just nothing. Doesn't even have a name, all this green space. I wouldn't mind taking an ice walk up Kingsbury at some point. Could be a rough one. "17 minutes already. Hardly seems that long." Nice cool morning. Not frosty though. Don't really feel winter this morning. Just cool fall day. One-way trail. Gotta be mountain bike. I don't think hikers ever have to worry about that one way. Hey, what's this? I never saw this. No hiking. Huh. Thought these were multi-use trails. No hiking. It's a new sign too, I think. Multi-use unless we feel like making them no hiking. Then hikers stay off. I should add that bikers are not allowed on the Superior Hiking Trail, which is this. But Superior Hiking Trail never claimed to be multi-use. The bike trails, that's their big selling point. Multi-use, we're building these for everybody. So they build them and then cut off a bunch of them. Yeah, we're well outside the official boundaries of what's known as Fairmount Park now. We're just strolling up into the... Ooh, I don't know if these are... What kind of, could be dogs. Could be dog tracks. Could be something else. Yet another area of expertise that I would like to gain, but only without doing any work. I can't devote any time to learning animal tracks. Thought they would have hit that old bridge already. Seems like always when I think of things and estimate times, it's always an underestimate. My entire life, it's been that way. Same with publishing articles. If I tell you that an article is going to be out in 3 days, few things are sure in life. But one thing that's sure is it will not be out in 3 days. Even if I really, really mean it. Wow. Man, I still haven't got there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just wrap it up. This video is getting long. Anyway, you saw how I got here. You want a nice scenic walk? Come and take this one. Then you can head off that way to Spirit Mountain, that way to 63rd, straight up to the Interstate Proctor exit. Many options. Park number 33, Fairmount Park. Thanks for watching.